Mom Friend Hotline, how may I help you?
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Yasmina. Ooh, I just got myself some new tea and this is delicious. On point. Perfect for this week's video, where I'm finally addressing all of your questions regarding the Mom Friend Hotline, or like questions that you sent me for the Mom Friend Hotline. Let's just jump right in. First question. I'm afraid of public speaking. What to do? Dear fearful fox, the fear of public speaking is incredibly common. Most of my friends suffer from it, at least 3/4 of them. I probably suffer partly at least from public speaking, but I feel like it's one of my strong points, or it doesn't stress me out as much as I know it stresses a lot of other people. But I can tell you that the more you practice, the easier it becomes. It's the same as with any other fear. The more that you have to acquaintance yourself with that fear, the easier it's going to be to overcome. But since the situation is that you're still currently afraid and it's not going to help the next time that you're going to have a presentation or whatever, try to actively sit down and write down your anxiety about it. Analyze what it is that is actually behind that anxiety, which is causing that sensation. For many people, the primary thought is something along the lines of, I have to hold a presentation in front of so and so many people, and that's causing me stress and anxiety. But that is usually the surface cause. So you have to dig deeper and find out what is actually causing that anxiety. For instance, it could be something along the lines of, I'm afraid to be embarrassed in front of so many people, someone knowing the subject better than me and criticizing me about it, afraid that people are going to laugh at me when I stumble on my words. Usually people are afraid of judgment, but it doesn't actually happen that often. Obviously, your teachers and professors or whoever is evaluating you or might be evaluating your presentation are there to give constructive criticism, but they're not there to judge you. Same as with the audience, they usually are not there to judge you. If that happens, it's usually very rarely. You're definitely gonna know that they just don't know any better. But to get your nerves to calm down, I would suggest that while you're writing down your thoughts of what might be causing your anxiety, visualize yourself doing that presentation and getting into a situation where people think negatively of you or react negatively to your presentation, and analyze how you would wish to react to this situation. For instance, if I would stumble on my words and people might laugh, or I would misspell a word or say a word incorrectly and it would maybe be inappropriate or something, I would try to laugh at the situation and make it the best out of it. So when you're going into a situation where you need to do public speaking, try to go in there and with the attitude that this is a learning experience and that you can get something out of this situation, instead of going there and trying to hold the best presentation out of everybody. So don't feel the pressure to be the best at your presentation, because usually there is always someone that is just a bit better than you, and if you take it as a learning opportunity, you're gonna come out much richer from that situation than if you're going in there with the attitude that you're gonna have to be the best, or otherwise you're just gonna lose everything because you aren't. I just read about this in psychology, that there's a study, or a lot of studies, that people that go in with the attitude of thinking that they're gonna learn from experiences actually ingrain the information a lot better than those who just want to be the best out of the whole group. And even if you were the only one who knows best about a subject, if you'd have like the PhD in the subject, there wouldn't be anybody else who could point out, you know, your faults, because you would be the one who knows it best. Hence, there wouldn't be anything to stress about, right? Have the attitude that you want to learn, that you're here to learn, and that if you make a mistake, it's more than okay to admit making that mistake and learning from it. In the end, we are all humans, and all of us need to face our fears at some point or another. But write down what's causing that anxiety. Helps with everything, in any situation. Anything that's causing you anxiety, write it down. Analyze your emotions, folks. Next question, how to be more confident. Hello, struggling seagull. Confidence in how you feel about yourself is all in your head, which is good and bad. It means that you can't just become more confident automatically by, for example, starting to work out. Workout does release endorphins, it makes you feel good. So in a way, exercise can make you more confident. A lot of people always say that when they start exercising, they feel a lot more confident about themselves. I, for instance, don't. Like, I need very specific exercise if I want to feel confident about myself, because usually, like, heavy exercise really tires me out. I know it's also because of the chronic mononucleosis I have been, having, but I feel like I've never really been like a sporty person in the way that, I really get endorphins from playing sport activities. Find the one that suits you. For instance, I love walking. That's just great. Find things that make you radiate happiness and that you are good at and focus on those things. It could be anything from doodling to like skateboarding or painting or talking to people, making new acquaintances, lending a listening ear, whatever it is, like things that you're good at or that people compliment you at, and pay attention to those compliments, because usually there are things that you might not notice about yourself but that other people will notice and can really give you insight about yourself in a good way. Also about compliments, learn how to receive them. Say thank you when you receive a compliment and don't neglect it. Compliments are wonderful. If you really start to listen to that person and agree with what they're saying, you automatically become more confident. I have tested this out, although I've always said thank you to compliments, but a lot of times I haven't believed them, but now every time somebody gives me a compliment, I'm like, yes, I agree with you, thank you. In my head, I don't necessarily say that out loud. Also find a style which suits you, which just screams you, where you feel comfortable in. Wear clothes that flatter exactly your body type and not what is in style right now. And find the color tones which suit you the best. I feel like that's something that people might struggle with the most, is finding color tones which really suit your skin and your hair type. I know that I'm trying new things now that I'm blonder, but still trying to find out what suits me the best. I know that this blue is kind of nice though. Stop comparing yourself to anybody else. They're going through their own journey, you're going through your own journey. You both have different problems and different things that you both are good at. You can go through things that don't make you love you for you and really dig deep in what that is. For instance, I used to have issues with the size of my boobs and maybe that my stomach wasn't the exact same replica of what Instagram models have, but that was only until I realized that the body type which I'm seeing everywhere around me is a very certain body type which is right now kind of in style. But you also have to remember that things that are right now in style or seen as a beauty standard will not be in 5 to 15 years. Because remember that these eyebrows were seen as the hottest stuff for under 15 years ago. I never understood that trend, but it was still a trend. I did not pluck my eyebrows like that. Thankfully, what is now trendy will not be trendy in 1 to 5 years. So, be you, believe in you, find everything in your surroundings which boosts you just the way that you are. You're beautiful. Okay, next question. How to deal with somebody who you've cut ties with, slowly creeping back into your life again after a year of not talking about them. Hello, creeped out coconut. Lovely name. First of all, I have a question. Is this person a toxic friend or an ex-partner or crush? I don't know if that matters, but if you cut ties with them because of something that they did and they are willing to ask for your forgiveness, I would recommend that you at least hear them out and hear their apology, because it gives you peace in the situation even though you wouldn't forgive them. Now, if they're just randomly want you back in their life and you're just not interested, you can either 1, ignore them, 2, just tell them point blankly, you don't have to be rude, but just inform them that you're not interested in communicating with this person and that you cut ties for a reason. And 3, you don't need to explain yourself, except if you've just randomly ghosted this person and you haven't given them an explanation on why you cut ties with that person. But You have the complete right to not have to talk with this person. And honestly, I just think that honesty is the best in any situation, or almost any situation, but honesty and talking things out and trying to understand the other perspective, but also telling the other person how you feel is incredibly important in any situation. Next question, how to get a sleep rhythm or a sleep schedule. If you just are going to really random hours to bed, I would suggest that you start going 30 minutes earlier each night to bed to make your sleep schedule go backwards. So for instance, if you've been going to bed by 2 in the morning, the next day you go at 1:30 and then at 1 and then at 12:30 and then at midnight, you know, etc. until you've achieved that bedtime where you want to be at. If you just in general want a sleep schedule, decide at what time you want to be in bed by and actively go towards that goal. For instance, you could set an alarm an hour or two before when you want to go to bed. So let's say you want to be in bed by 11. So you'd set an alarm at 9:30 or 10 p.m. where you just drop off anything you're doing, any schoolwork, any activity, any whatever, and just start going to bed. So having maybe an evening snack, brushing your teeth, washing your face, if you want to take a shower, just preparing yourself to bed. Keep doing that until you get to the schedule that you want. Next question, I have trouble falling asleep in the evenings. Hello, Insomniac Eagle. Create a calm space where you can fall asleep, meaning that your bed should be a place of rest, not a place of work or study or any place for negative emotions. Make your brain associate your bed with resting and not working or watching TV series, etc. Probably do this, but if you don't, air your room before you go to sleep. It's proven that you fall asleep a lot faster in colder climates or in a colder space. If you haven't tried, try meditation or stretching, just anything that would relax your body, that would empty your thoughts, prepare you for sleeping. What goes hand in hand with the meditation is writing down your thoughts. If you feel like you get a lot of negative emotions when you go to sleep and that's what's kind of keeping you awake, try like before going to bed to write down all the negative emotions that you might have built up inside, or if it's a to-do list that's stressing you out or whatever, just write down your thoughts or the things that you need to do the next day to kind of get a blank space in your brain where it's easier to fall asleep. Avoid electronic devices for 1 to 2 hours before going to bed. I know everybody talks about this, but at least for me, I can't be on my computer if I don't want it affecting my sleep about an hour before I go to bed. Also, create your own bedtime ritual. Once it becomes a ritual to you, it's just automatically preparing your body to go to sleep and to relax. So for instance, it could be anything as easy as reading a book or going for a 5-minute walk outside or stretching or cleaning. For me, it's cleaning. I always try to clean before I go to bed. Well, not now, but when I have school and I actually have a sleeping schedule, I try to clean like a quick 5-minute cleaning like of the surfaces and etc. I hope that's gonna help you. Drink some evening tea, at least that calms me, if it's not green tea. Next question, how to be more productive. Hello, unmotivated urchin. Write down the things that you want to get done if you have like a long to-do list or something. And from that, do a timetable of when you're going to do all of these activities, so to say. That at least works for me. I know it doesn't work for a lot of people, but if you're a person who you feel like schedules work for you, then that's great, because then you'll have a designated time slot for when you need to do each activity. If that doesn't work for you, then skip this step. Find when you are naturally the most productive during the day. For instance, if you're studying, are you most productive in the morning or day, or are you more activated during the evening or night? I know that our society inclines us to being more of morning persons, but if that's not the case for you and you have the possibility to study in the evenings or work in the evenings when you're more productive, do that, because 1 or 2 hours of productive work is probably the equal of like 5 or 6 hours of non-productive work. Also, put away your phone or any other disturbances. Goes hand in hand with find a designated spot for where you're working. It could be outside of your home, or then it could be in your home, like a a desk or any small space which is just designated for work and does not include any other distractions. But also give yourself a day off. It's all about balance. You can't be productive 24/7 and you really need those days off as well. So be gentle to yourself. Okay, there were 2 Q&A questions. So one was my favorite language. I don't really have a favorite language. I love to express myself in English because it has so intricate vocabulary and I love it. But I love every language. It has all beautiful accents, especially like, I love like the Swedish accent, which I can't make. But I also like French and like Spanish and Italian and a lot of languages. Portuguese is beautiful. It's great that people can speak, you know? Okay, where I'm from and where I live. This was a bit of a creepy question, but I understand because you were confused. I'm from Finland. I live in Finland. I used to live in Helsinki, which is the capital. Now I live in the north, in Rovaniemi, where Santa Claus lives, and there's reindeers, and it's very, very cold. Okay, that is it for this week's video. I literally have 0% battery on my computer, but congratulations, we made it through. My camera battery is dying, but please stay with me. I hope that you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you for sending me all of your questions. I forgot to specify, some of these were from you, some of them were invented by me. But anyway, comment down below what you thought of this video. At least I struggle with the lighting constantly here, but that's not your problem. Subscribe for more quality content and let me know if you want to see these in the future. I at least enjoyed making these. And if you have any problems in the future, send them to me because I would love to give advice on them. Okay, I will see you next week. Toodles! Oh, this tea is good.